What is up, bros and hoes? It's Ash your OpTic Minute, and today we are on another episode of Power Down. This is episode number 10, double digits.
Yep.
And finally, on our 10th episode, we are getting the #1 most requested guest, Jewel.
Hi.
Megan.
Did you know you were #1? Did you know you were the
Yeah, you were the highest demanded guest in Power Down history. I know that makes
I feel
sense.
very special. Oh my God.
I mean, your fans are fucking crazy, so that's why.
That's cool.
I just took the ads
guys.
off the video by saying the F word. Sorry, YouTube. Please continue putting Pepsi ads on my video. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So we have
try not to curse.
Well, it's okay because I just did. But so we have a couple topics that we want to talk about later. But #1 thing that I want to talk about to start off is Lil Jules, how you been doing? Because people think that we are not in any way affiliated anymore because we're not on the same esports Call of Duty team. Organization's a better word. Remember when we first were in it together? It was like a clan. Like it was called a clan.
It's changed so much, honestly. It's I don't even know how to explain how much it's changed. It used to be everyone would get on Skype and talk about their clips, and now it's there's a house, and it's insane. It's not the same.
No, it's definitely evolved. And if you guys don't know, Jewel was an OpTic. She joined in 2011?
June 20th, 2011.
Damn, that's crazy. You remember the date? You want to know my date?
What day?
May 7th, 2010. That's the day I got in OpTic. That's the day I was in a Skype call. I know. My anniversary's coming up. So basically, I'm a dinosaur in Call of Duty years.
That's nuts.
And OpTic years.
Yeah, I remember when I was a little fan, and I messaged you. You were doing some girl video, and I messaged you, and
it's a girl montage. Right?
No, but before that, it was some girl interview video that you were gonna do, and I messaged you on YouTube. And if you could go back and look at YouTube messages, I don't think you can now. But I was like, "Hey, can I be in this video?" And you replied, and I never replied because I was too scared. I was terrified.
Dude, I think it was when I was the leader of the OpTic Girls channel, and so I was in charge of not even getting girls to join OpTic, but I was just in charge of doing this series because. This series, I would interview other girl gamers, which was the premise of the series. We did a couple episodes on Nation, moved it over to the girls channel, and that's what you're talking about. I wish they didn't delete that channel. Actually, I'm kind of glad they did. But because I don't want to go back and listen to how cringe my commentary is.
I love it.
But yeah, it's honestly, if you would have told me even 5 years ago, so 2012, that all of this stuff was going to happen after what happened, I would not believe you. Oh, you're a Twitch streamer who supports, you pay your own bills off Twitch streaming and doing YouTube videos. You go to crazy gaming events. What is your life?
Crazy. When I was 17, that was around when I first started a live stream and actually make a living, because I was doing YouTube, and a lot of people made a lot of money, but YouTube was never my source of income. And then Twitch really blew up. And if I would have never thought Twitch would become my source of living, it's crazy.
Yeah, the way that you see it back then is just this. Well, even YouTube, when I started YouTube, it was just this fun thing to do. Is before they had partnerships or anything. So
yeah,
I'm a dinosaur.
I remember my friend. He had a donation button on his stream, and I was a streamer, but I had never accepted donations. I remember thinking people donate.
I mean, it seems really weird, right? You're I'm just sitting here doing this. Yeah. Why should I get your money?
Why do they want to give me?
Yeah, my parents really don't get the concept.
Yeah.
And I swear when I'm telling people about it in real life, they're in their heads, I can see them looking at me, and they're cam girl.
And I'm exactly. They do.
That's what my uncle said.
I've had it so many times.
I'm no, here's the link. You can go watch. You can confirm. I'm doing this every single night. There's nothing else I could be doing with my time. You could watch.
Oh my gosh. I remember this old guy was oh yeah, old men watch you, right? I'm no, that's not
you know what that guy does in his free time.
It's awful. It's awful.
That's terrible. So I know a lot of people have been looking forward to having you as a guest, not only because I feel they think that we're not friends anymore since you're not in the team anymore, with OpTic. So what do you basically my question for you is from my perspective, I feel you're better off where you are now. Right? So I just wanted you to talk about that a tiny bit if you want.
Okay.
Do you feel you're better off now? Because that's how I view it.
So I wouldn't say necessarily like better off. I wouldn't use that term because obviously like OpTic did provide some juice for me, but a lot of people get this like misunderstanding that I was like 1,000 viewers per stream, and they come in my stream and they're like, you died after you got kicked. But it was never like that. Like when I was on MLG and I switched to Twitch, I was like always at like 200 viewers. Yeah, I'm at like 100 now, but I think everyone dropped in viewers.
Yeah, the Call of Duty well, you work in the Call of Duty community heavily as I was, and I've noticed a significant drop in viewers.
100%.
But then when Call of Duty, like for instance, Black Ops 2 became backwards compatible, it's a little bump in COD.
Yeah,
1,000 viewers I have. And I think the same thing would be said for you. Like if you, because you're ingrained in the Call of Duty community in a way. Like you still play other games and stuff, just like I do. But
it's always going to be, I'm always going to have COD followers. I'm always going to follow COD people. I'm always going to be involved. It's just always going to be that way.
Right.
But like I said, I wouldn't necessarily say that like it was for the better. It wasn't for the better or for the worse, but I definitely didn't like completely die just because I was kicked.
No, I don't think that's true, and I think that's really mean of people to say like, oh well, she's just gonna go live off on Fuck You Island now, so whatever. Like that's not how it happens at all. Like I think that like from my perspective, I feel like you like might be happier, I guess, where you don't have to worry. Like if you're thinking of tweeting some funny joke or something, you're thinking, oh my god, is the sponsors gonna care about that, or like that type of stuff. Like I feel like
I can just be weird without worrying. Exactly.
Well, and I think you always did a good job too of like building Jewel and not like OpTic Jewel.
Yeah, I think that was something I messed up with though. With being an OpTic, I feel like I never really used the OpTic name to like my full ability. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like you were always like just OpTic. Like you watched every single like competitive like game. I was always kind of just like I would watch like the ending when they would win, and you know what I mean. I wasn't involved as much as I like could have.
Are you talking about like being involved within the OpTic community itself?
Yeah, that's what I mean,
like tweeting about it and talking about it.
Being involved, like like you have an OpTic gaming like poster behind you. I never did stuff like that.
That's a banner.
I guess banner. Nice. But like you know what I mean. So like I totally see what you mean. Like I was always building Jewel. I was never building like OpTic Jewel. You know.
Yeah. I know. I think maybe now you're thanking yourself for that. Yeah. Maybe a little bit.
Because if I was only OpTic, a lot of people would have been like, "See ya, I'm out of here."
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah. And some people did. Some people did say, "Bye."
Yeah. Well, and that's fine.
It's gonna happen though.
Well, yeah, that's fine. There's certain people like if you were to stop playing Call of Duty, for instance, like. Oh, well, I only would like watching you play Call of Duty bye. Yeah. You know, it's everyone tunes in for their own little kind of selfish, weird reason, right? And that's okay.
It's true.
I don't blame them.
And you have a good core group of supporters that voted you to be on this podcast. So I think that like people overlook on Twitch, especially like how strong having a good community is behind the streamer.
Like I want to say something quickly. I mean, it's not fully on topic, but so like for instance, like I have like roughly I average like 100 viewers a stream, but I have almost 300 subs. So like that says a lot. Like I still have 300 supporters. Yeah. Like that, but they can't make it to every stream. But it just says a lot that people love you and they'll support you, and even if they can't make it to everything you do.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
And I think people look at viewers a little bit too much because think about it in the way of like a ranking system. So when you go to click on Call of Duty and you see that it's organized by viewers, it's not organized by subscribers or how active the chat is. It's organized by viewers, so they see, oh well, Jewel only has 100 viewers, so whatever, she's shit. Like that 100. First of all, 100 viewers is a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Nobody can start up their stream unless they already have a presence somewhere else on social media and get 100 viewers. And like you said, to build like a subscriber base and a strong community like behind you, I think that people that comment mean things about, first of all, why'd you comment something mean on something someone's trying to do that makes them happy? But like I think that it's just really messed up way to look at it, because you have to look at what's deeper than just like a viewer number, right? It's the types of interactions in the chat. The people are having a good time watching you. What's to be said about this other person that's commenting on that type of thing?
Yeah, I actually had that happen recently, like a really big.
You uploaded it, right?
Yeah, did you watch it? Or?
Which video are you talking about?
Yeah, it's okay. So somebody came in my chat the first night I was an
affiliate. I meant to watch that video before the podcast. I forgot.
Okay, it's pretty funny. I turned it into like a learning thing. But basically, some guy comes in And he just starts calling me names right off the bat. And I was like, you know, who are you? And then he's like, you're never getting a sub button. First of all, every affiliate's getting a sub button. That's happening. All
Wait,
the affiliates
what?
Yeah.
Back
get
up.
sub buttons.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So if you're an affiliate now,
yeah,
you're on the track of getting a sub button.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure,
no matter what, right?
Yeah, because that's what that one emote's for. We get access to one emote, so I don't know if the subs have to pay the same full like $4.99 or whatever to get access to it, but you get that one emote. So everybody is on track.
I would assume you'd have to give bits to get the emote. No.
I
don't know how it works.
I don't even know.
It's a sub button. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, I've looked into it after because I wasn't sure again, but I think it's going to start rolling out the same time that you guys get the different tiers.
The tiers are out.
The tiers now.
The tiers are out now?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
They don't work properly, but they're out.
Yeah, it says they're going to slowly start integrating them in, but either way, I feel like I'm on my way to a partnership eventually.
No, I said that even without you being an affiliate. Before this I was like, you're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to keep grinding, you know?
I feel pretty confident. And but either way, so he's like saying, you're never gonna get a sub button. You have 27 viewers.
I bet that guy's fun at parties.
Exactly. I was like, first of all, I think 27 viewers is pretty good for like where I'm at. And it's like, I have a very active chat too. Like, I think
your chat's lit, dude.
Yeah, I care more about chat activity than anything else. And so I'm like, it's like, so he's just going off on this. And I feel like people don't see that. They just come in, they look at the viewer number, but it's like, do you see the fact that there's people that are like genuinely interacting with me and like generously donating cheers and
actually just care?
Yeah,
like,
straight up
people that care about you. Like,
they do. They're like, every day I get messages from people like, how are you doing today? Like, did you manage to get some sleep last night? Like, just people who genuinely care. And you can't see that with a viewer number. And I feel like that's why when people come in and just say like shitty comments like that, they're looking for two things. They're trying to bring you down as a person because they're like, okay, this is my chance. I feel like they're weak in some way. This is my chance to try to bring them down.
Well, they're trying to bring they're trying to bring you down to their level. Their life is shit, so they need to project that and bring you. Let's make sure she has a shitty time because my life sucks and nobody cares about me.
That's pretty much what my whole video was. It's like I went off on him on stream, just called him like a very sad, pathetic little boy like a bunch of times.
Wild. I don't do that shit no more. I try not to. It's hard.
I tried not to. Usually I would just ignore it, but I was
sometimes
like,
I burst.
Sometimes
like I can't take it and I just freak out. But I have mods that ban them like instant.
Oh
so
yeah,
I barely see it.
That helps a lot. But it's hard to like not want to defend yourself because you know all this stuff. Like last night, I found myself like I got a little care package from Activision for the new COD. It had a hat, a jacket, bag, all that cool like swag stuff for the new COD. Obviously, I'm seen as an influencer. They send me that stuff. I tweet about it.
Yes.
It's back and forth, right?
Yeah.
And this guy comments, well, she hasn't even played COD in months. You know, what the fuck? And it's like, he's going off of my YouTube, and I'm like, well, I'm a streamer. And like, why am I defending myself? This person I don't know who doesn't even care, he obviously doesn't know that I've been like a big part of the COD community since like 2008. Like, why am I defending? Like, I thought afterwards, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm defending myself to some moron on social media who doesn't even know me.
Exactly. And that's how I started my video. I was like, normally, if this was in any other environment, I would have completely ignored him. I wouldn't have even engaged it. But I was like, I've been getting a lot of questions from people specifically saying, like, how do you deal with hate coming at you? How do you deal with negative comments? And I was like, a lot of people were like, you going off on him in that way made me realize how little it matters when somebody says that kind of stuff to me. So I was like, well, I'm glad that helped you. Like, normally I wouldn't do that. Normally it's not worth it, but sometimes it's just fun to go off.
Sometimes I totally understand.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like,
shut the fuck
don't you hold me down.
I'm doing my thing, man.
Yeah, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah. So what else have you been doing, Jules, outside of the game? Okay, I'm just selfishly asking this. I just want to talk about your dogs. Like, your dogs are so cute.
Oh my god, I love my dog so much. Nyla is in heat right now. Yeah.
Usually are y'all like mating them, or are you gonna get her fixed?
Originally, I was going to. Like, originally I was like, yeah, I'm gonna
so
mate them and keep one of the babies. But then I realized that I'm crazy. Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not a breeder. Like, why do I need to do this? So,
well, do you have to be licensed? I have a question. Do you know much about that? Do you have to be licensed to do that? Because I see all the time, oh, I'm a licensed breeder. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? You like make your dogs?
Licensed breeders just mean that you can.
You're like official, I guess.
Yeah.
But so no, like everyone knows that you make your dogs do the damn thing and then sell off the puppies. Okay.
Well, like you could be like a puppy mill and then like an actual breeder. And like Nyla, when I got Nyla, I drove 4 hours to get her, and she was definitely from a puppy mill. Like it was bad, and I didn't know until I got there. It smelled so bad. Like I've never smelled anything worse in my life.
So
like
sad.
It was sad.
Did you report him, or how do you do that?
No, I mean,
if you guys don't know, Jewel has 2 huskies, Siberian huskies, right?
Yeah,
2 Siberian huskies. If you don't know,
it's not to the point where it's like 700 dogs or something, but it's like she has like 8 huskies or something, and like they're all like outside, and it's just like I don't like no.
Yeah.
But she sells them cheap. Like a Damon was expensive, like very, very expensive, and she sold Nyla like 400, and Damon was like close to like 15 or 2,000. I don't remember.
Damn, Daniel, that's crazy. Yeah. Well, because they're pure, right? So that costs a lot, I guess, to keep them.
The weird part is Nyla came with like official AKC papers, but Damon didn't. Weird. I paid a bunch for him, and he doesn't come with like official papers. I don't know.
So how do you like say that he's purebred other than just saying it?
I can get a DNA test, but that's like $200. But regardless, like you can tell, like and he did come with some kind of official paper, but not like AKC. Like there's other like AKA and whatever stuff like that. But yeah, like I was saying, she's in heat right now, and a lot of people say that like the male will like freak out. But the weird part is, my unneutered male is not freaking out. It's my neutered Jack Russell that wants her.
What?
It's really weird. Yeah.
Yo, their babies would look weird as shit.
So ugly.
So would not be good.
Yeah, so it's weird. I don't know, but they're good. I love my dogs.
Yeah, I like seeing you post. I think it's your Twitter. Do you have a Snapchat?
Yeah, but I don't use it a lot.
Oh, okay.
I follow you though. I stalk you.
What? I want to follow you on Snapchat.
It's your Jewel Megan.
Jewel Megan. Is public?
Yeah.
We can put that in there. Okay, follow Jewel Megan where she doesn't snap. But no, I see your stuff on like Twitter and Instagram, and I don't know. I just love animals. Like I'm a sucker. I think it's really sad that there's those puppy mills, though. I think that there's starting to be laws in cities now that you can't even buy a dog from a pet store anymore. You have to adopt one.
Good. And they overprice the shit out of the pet store dogs too. And then they pee like literally on themselves because they live in the crates and it's
they're getting
horrible.
like diseases or passing around like diseases and
cough
stuff like that.
and all that. Oh my god, it's horrible.
It's just a really unhealthy environment.
Yeah, but she's not from like a super bad puppy mill, but it's just enough to be like, yo, lady, like this is really your source of income. Like you're really breeding dogs.
Yeah. Well, and part of it too might just be like there's a high demand, because where I got Nala from, my cat, I didn't buy her, I adopted her. I mean, there's still like a cost, a fee, and then you have to you pay in the fee. It says you're paying that for getting the animals spayed or neutered, and you have to do that within a certain amount of time. Otherwise, I'm not sure what happens. Something bad happens. But the lady that I got Nala from was like a bona fide cat lady. Like I'm pretty sure that I saw into my own future by meeting this lady.
Oh my god.
She was. I mean, and bless people that foster these animals, right? But they're in between like where they got them from and the permanent owners. Those are the people that's holding on to them. Like I couldn't do it. I get too attached to the animal.
Same.
When I met up with her at a PetSmart, and I was like, cool, so just ask her questions about kitties because I love kitties, and she's telling me that she has like 8 cats at home, and she's so glad I'm picking this one up because she's got Nala's got like green shit in her eyes, and like the way that she eats, like when I put food down, like she just scarfs it because I imagine they're all just being fed in this little bullshit like
when you have like a lot
situation.
When you have animals like that, you're supposed to separate a lot of different food dishes in different areas.
Separate them in general already.
Exactly.
It's hard. That's what I do now too, because otherwise Nala would scarf her food and go and eat Simba, so I have to lock her. That's why #FreeNala is a thing in my stream, because I had to lock her in the bathroom so that she could eat and Simba could eat. So it's kind of crazy, man. I mean, I don't know. It's for the better. Obviously, she's helping these animals get adopted and be in the buffer zone between the permanent homes and where she gets them from, or the rescues. But at the same time, it's like it's not really good conditions for the animals, Yeah. Whether it's a puppy mill or someone who just has overpopulation in their house, like it's not.
I don't think that should be okay. Like for people to, I think there should be. Isn't there a limit, like a law of how many animals you're allowed?
But like,
it's
cats,
not really regulated.
Well, cats specifically, you can just pick them up off the street. It's like, oh, there's a cat.
Yeah,
like,
basically.
Yeah, we got our cat because my mom's cat. I think you remember the cat that had the tail fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she actually she found us, but then she disappeared. I don't know if I told you about this, Ashley. She disappeared for like 6 months. And we honestly thought she died. Like we thought like something happened.
Well, you live in Florida too, right? Like it's freaking hot. I'm assuming there's alligators everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just how I assume Florida is.
This cat, after 6 months, just 12 a.m. at night, comes walking home like
I'm back.
Meowing like just like just came back after 6 months. Like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, it's
crazy
insane that she just came back.
Dude,
and visited, and now she's gone again. But she visited.
What? I'm about to get real weird. I wish I could talk to my cats. Like, don't you wish you could ask the cat where it went and just have a full-on conscious conversation?
I really do. I want to know what happened with her. I want to know what happened to her tail, too. I have so many questions for her. I really do.
I have a lot of questions. Or if, like, I saw this question on Reddit in the cats Reddit. Dude, I'm, like, totally selling myself as a cat lady right now. But they were like, if you could have your cats, like, conscious understanding of what you're saying for 5 minutes, what would you tell it? And I would just be like, when I leave, I'm coming back. Stop, freaking flinging your litter everywhere. Like, I would tell them everything. Yeah, Simba's crazy.
Yeah, some cats do that.
What?
Not poop, but like when he goes in the box, he like.
No, I thought he did it on purpose. Is he doing it on purpose though when you leave? No,
nothing to do with that.
Okay,
he's just like that's how he
Was
rocks.
angry that you left, and he's like.
Well, I don't know. Probably, I think that they think I die. I don't know. Maybe they just assume I'm standing on the other side of the door when I leave for like hours.
They just don't know. They have no reference.
Yeah,
I just want to ask my cat like, why? Just sometimes he does things, and I just want to know why.
Why are you such a shit?
Like, what is your obsession with this? Why are you the way that you are? But I love him. He's still a kitten, so he's very like he's just like the most rambunctious cat I've ever had. Like,
yeah.
How is it having inside cats? Sorry, I didn't mean.
Oh no,
inside cats.
I've only ever had inside cats.
Yeah, I don't want to put them outside. Like, it's so tempting too to like I saw like the cat leashes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw this girl in the park walking her cat, and I was with Cassie at the time. I was like, yo, we should get that for Simba. And she was like, no, you look like a psycho. I'm like, what do you mean? It wants to be outside too. But then like when I lived with my dad, we had a bunch of cats, and we had a couple cats that were indoor and outdoor. And once they're out there and they get a taste of being out there, they always want to go out there. Yeah, like they always want to go out there. They'll meow. They're annoying. So I think like having them the way I have them now is perfect.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened to ours. Here, living at David's, we had 2, and they got outside on accident. Never want to be inside anymore.
Yep.
And it sucks because we live by a really like busy road, and
one of my cats got hit and died from it. So it's sad.
That's what happened to my cat.
My cat, I kind of stood outside with him in like a snowstorm once because he kept trying to run out the door, and I was like, okay, we're gonna go outside. He was fine. He wanted to go back inside really fast.
He's like, never mind.
He was good. He's never mind. I don't like this.
Yeah. So I'm gonna switch gears a little bit from cats. This is actually quite a subject change for cats. So it was okay. First of all, it wasn't even really announced. If you guys know, Michael Condrey is one of the studio heads of Sledgehammer Games. He tweeted a reply to somebody that asked him if they were going to be playable female characters in the next Call of Duty or in the multiplayer, and he gave a short reply. Basically, said like, yes, that's there. Basically. And everybody's pissed. Charlie Intel tweeted about it. They're like, confirmed. Female World War II multiplayer characters. And I replied, I retweeted it, and then I replied to a reply saying, that's bullshit. It's World War II. Doesn't make any sense. That's just how I imagine he talks.
So you imagine they sound.
Yeah. And I'm like, really? Like, do you not understand, though? Like, first of all, it's confirmed for multiplayer. The campaign is being, like, kind of pushed, I guess, is this Band of Brothers like style campaign where like you're in a squad and you're going through like World War II together and you're going through these iconic battles. And like I totally on one hand like completely understand why some people are upset because there were no frontline female military not murderers, but soldiers out there killing other people from other countries and factions. You know what I mean? Like they weren't there in that aspect.
They weren't in the battles. They
right.
weren't.
So I totally understand. And even like there in some instances though in other countries, like there is a famous, like she's not famous just because she's a girl. She's famous for how many confirmed kills she has. She's a Russian sniper. Like, I think she was even in one of the Medal of Honors back in the day, which was a World War II game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, actually.
Nobody threw a hissy fit back then, but, like,
because they probably just didn't know.
Like, females were spies. They were the people that fought planes in the Air Force, which had a huge play in World War II.
Yes,
and there's these other, like, females, like the French spy that they actually like, talked about in the reveal live stream. Did you guys watch that?
I was working, unfortunately.
What? Wow, I'm a CoD nerd. I'm a CoD nerd.
That you are.
I'm a CoD nerd. I watched the whole thing.
I was at work.
Twice. No,
I was with clients. I was with clients.
Yeah. I was playing H1, so.
I was playing H1.
Okay, my excuse is better.
But like the point is that although they were like small in number size in comparison to these other females, obviously not so much in America, right? These were from other countries. It's not wild to think that there would be these females, these I guess like outstanding like female soldiers from other countries. It's not wild to assume that they could somehow be put into the multiplayer. And even then, like when you're playing multiplayer Call of Duty, you're not playing the campaign. You're not playing some historically accurate version of what happened.
Yeah.
Like
no, you're just playing in settings.
Right. And so I'm not, and this tweet generated a ton of like replies. Like I got a lot of people that agree with me, a lot of people that disagree with me, and I have really no problem with people that disagree with me about it, but I did have a problem with people tweeting me things like, shut up, you social justice warrior gamer bitch, or like, you feminist, and it's like, I'm not a feminist. Like, yeah, I agree, and I think that women should have equal rights and stuff, but I'm not the type of person who's going to sit there and like, be and do all this crazy shit on Twitter for it. Or like, I'm not a social justice warrior. I just like, am a person that has a certain opinion. Like, I'm not this like conglomerate person that you're thinking of. And I think it's like really odd stance for people to be so upset about it. So I guess I just kind of wanted, I mean, obviously it's a podcast. There's only women on the screen right now. Right. So you're like, oh, listen to these bitches talk about this. But what do you guys think about like, it's only, as far as we know, it's only going to be a multiplayer. And the only thing we know about females being in the campaign is that one spy that they kind of spotlight.
I just want to, this is quick to say, I just feel like this is like the Call of Duty community will always find something to complain about.
Oh, for sure.
No matter what. Like, I'm in the League of Legends community, I'm in the, like other communities, and it's not nearly as bad as Call of Duty. Like, they could give you what you want, and that they'll still be like, nope, I don't like this. No, what about this? Like, it's just it's never enough. So
this is gonna ruin my experience.
We're talking about female characters. Are you kidding me?
I want to be immersed, Jewel. I want to be immersed with my brothers. Like
exactly. Aren't there female playable characters for multiplayer in MWR?
Oh yeah,
no,
Well,
they added them.
Because there's...
no, I was thinking about Modern Warfare 3 for some reason.
No.
But yeah, there is.
But yeah, in recent Call of Duties, there are female playable characters, and it's not
I'm just talking about MWR, because that is an older base Call of Duty.
Strike, though? Or are they like, we're not playing this till they
no, I think they're just upset that... Well, and like I said, on one hand, I get it, and it's not that if you disagree with me, I think you're dumb or uneducated. I'm not saying that in any way. Like, just... Maybe the people that I was talking to yesterday on Twitter that were being really abrasive in conversation about it, I was like, you're kind of an asshole. But like, I understand on one point, like, yes, they did not have like when you're thinking about the D-Day and the Beach of Normandy rush, you're not thinking of like fucking Agatha's running next to Richard with her gun. Like, it's not, that's not what was happening. But to say and think that there was no female presence whatsoever during that time in certain like aspects of it, I guess, is just really like ignorant to say. And so to be upset that they're putting in a multiplayer, you haven't even played the campaign, you don't know the stories they're telling with that. There may be a significant female role that's an enemy. You don't know. Like, you don't know enough to be like, that's inaccurate. Like,
I feel like they're making a lot of like statements based on North American military presence in World War II, and not necessarily taking into account the fact that it was called World War for a reason. There were a number of countries all over the world involved in it that had different levels of involvement.
And I got so many tweets being like, well, this is an American-focused game. And yeah, I get it. You're playing like from the perspective of American, but it's World War II. It's not just America versus everyone else.
You know what? The multiplayer isn't going to be, you know, America versus Canadians.
And like, spoiler alert, like America wins. Like, we get it. But if you think about it in Call of Duty terms, like, let's just say like for example, like in Modern Warfare Remastered, like you're talking about, like you have like the Marines and you can have a playable girl character there. And then you go over to the OpT4. Obviously, they probably shouldn't have like a female character in the OpT4 costume because it's totally not like what's allowed in their military. It's not accurate.
Yeah,
so they don't. But it's accurate as far as this goes. And so to be surprised, I guess, that there would be like a Russian sniper character or even like a German one, like it'd be really.
And I think it's cool that they're throwing that in there because they're finding ways to actually integrate history in a way that people might not be familiar with, and because World War II stuff has been done, it's been beaten to death. So the fact that they're trying to actually come up with a unique way to throw it in there is actually making me interested in the campaign, and I'm not usually someone who plays the campaign. So
well, I think like
when I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks kind of fun.
Well, I think like for people that maybe don't know that much about World War II or have watched a lot of stuff about it, like Jewel, have you watched a lot of stuff about World War II or know that much about it?
I don't know anything.
So now, now maybe playing it, you might learn a little bit about the history. Yeah, it's told from like a really small lens, and it's going to be more about this brotherhood feeling. You got to get that vibes from the trailer. But there's significant battles that go down that like you will probably learn about playing the game. And
only
I think that's
watched
cool.
Hacksaw Ridge, I think. Was that World War II?
You should watch Band of Brothers on HBO. It's a wonderful show. It's multi-episodes. It's very long. I watched it. It was dope.
My dad's a pretty big war buff, so.
Oh, my dad is obsessed.
Yeah. Well, even maybe he would be able to tell you. Like, even like my grandpa's fought in the war. So it's like, it's kind of crazy to think like we're going to be playing a game. Like a simulated version of like what my grandfathers like actually did.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of crazy? Like, should I tell my grandpa that I'm about to...
Do you think that... Okay, this is a really weird question. I might throw you for a loop here. I don't know. Do you think that it's kind of messed up that we play games of war? I don't know. Like, this is a weird question. Like,
it kind of is. It's kind of like...
It's...
Like a weird simulation of war, and it's just supposed to be enjoyable. But why do we have like war movies? Like, why is Saving Private Ryan something we want to watch?
Actually, Saving Private Ryan specifically, I know that... they were talking about it. I think it was a Reddit thread I was reading where people who were in World War II and just various vets had to like leave the theater because it was that real to them. And it was, and they're saying, but they say to them something like that ends up being culturally important, even though they can't sit through it and deal with it. They can respect the fact that it's a thing. Yeah.
It's a thing that happened, and it's like you said, it's important to share or show.
What I do think is kind of an issue with a lot of these media type things, especially I'm Canadian. I'm gonna throw the Americans under the bus here. American glorification of war, which everybody does. If you win, you glorify the fact that you won. I think it paints a really. It doesn't. People know that war is a really serious thing and a really terrible thing, but you guys, not you guys specifically, but the entire world knows that America is like very much like, you know, we fought for the freedom, we got the freedom, like
we're the best military.
Best.
Watch out!
It's like very, very
Kim Jong-un. Watch out! You're playing with fire.
Exactly. And I'm not saying that there's nothing necessarily anything wrong with that. I just think that sometimes the media over glorifies what war actually is, and I think it's important to have things that show the severity of it and the realness of it, so that it's not just the thing that's like we went through all this terrible stuff, but America came out on top and that's what counts. It's like, no, there are real sacrifices, real loss, and when you're over there, you're not necessarily, it stops becoming you're fighting for your country. It's more like you're fighting for the people around you. Like,
oh, definitely.
It becomes a very much more of a one-on-one thing, not this like massive thing that people kind of think it is. But I do think it's important, and I feel like the way that it looks like they're going to be telling this campaign seems like they're trying to deal with it in like a more educational, historically significant way.
It's more than just Michael Bay explosive effects like some other COD campaigns. And I think like with movies, like Jules' question, like it makes you feel connected. Like when you see movies like Saving Private Ryan or like even like modern like Black Hawk Down, and you're showing.
I watched Hacksaw Ridge like 8 times.
Really, I haven't seen it yet.
As well,
I need to see
Ridge
it.
Is one of those ones I thought was going to be a like an American sniper like America movie, but it was actually more like this is one person actually fighting against what the American military ideals were to like do what he believed was right.
Right.
So I actually think that it's a much better representation of what. Like
it's my favorite movie of all time, actually.
Damn, I need to watch it.
I love that movie.
I haven't seen it yet. If you like that, you'd probably like Band of Brothers. You need to watch Band of Brothers. It's so good.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
It's Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks, so it's good.
Yeah. So I don't know. I kind of agree. I definitely agree with what you're saying. Like when you see it on the screen, and even though it's like this glorified, like kill the bad guys and we're saving everybody's lives, but like that is really what it's about, right? It's about protecting your freedom, and I don't want to get into the political side of it of why are we here, or why are we doing this, why are we intervening here. I'm not going to comment on that.
Modern war is way different than what was going on back then.
Yeah, back then
we were
going against like Hitler's Germany and Nazis and stuff like that. That's a very serious thing to have to get involved in. And so like I don't know. I think that when you make movies or even video games where you're literally that person going through it, it's weird to think of like, oh, well, we're just like in this simulation. Like, are we like actually training for war by playing this weird game? Or are you just finding a way to help the average person relate to the people that had to go through that and realize why they had to do it and why it was important? Like, I think that it's a positive thing, even though it seems kind of messed up. It's positive overall.
And I think stuff like I think different people, it affects them in different ways. Like a lot of people just see it as like a historically significant thing, but other people are all like, I'm going to join the military because that's what I want to do, and this is why I want to join the military. So
I know tons of people that have felt so strongly like this root of patriotism for their country that they like literally join the military. There's even like a UFC fighter. Wow. Is it Tim Kennedy? I'm forgetting his first name. His definitely last name is Kennedy. He's a fighter in the UFC, and he was enlisted, I believe, in the Marines. I'm sorry if I'm getting these details messed up, but the big gist of the story is now with this ISIS stuff and the fact that there's going to be looking like a stronger military presence under President Trump. Like I said, I don't want to get into the political side of it, or why we're there, why we're not, or I don't really want to get too much into that. But he actually quit the UFC and re-enlisted his own self on his own free will because he feels so strongly about defeating ISIS, and I think...
And I get that.
And there's like definitely, we think about it as like, would I do that? Fuck no.
Yeah. There's definitely some like issues out there that I believe are worth, fighting for. And it's just a matter of whether or not that's actually what you're fighting for.
I wish I had balls like that.
Well, and I think that, and I know even people in my real life that feel so strongly. I have a family in the military. Like it's a big deal, to a lot of these guys and these women. I know women that have literally enlisted because they feel such a strong connection to their country and their people that this is important to them. And I have a lot of respect for that. I have a lot of respect for people that do that. And I would like to actually maybe, if it's possible, one day have a person from the military on to ask them. I mean, I've asked them like, personally, but like maybe what do they think about like these war games that kind of make it look like this good, or not even like a good time, but just like glorifying it, right?
Glorifying it, yeah. Because I actually do have like a fair amount of like people that watch my stream that are in the military. Like they'll watch it. Like I know people that are deployed currently. I don't know where necessarily they're all deployed, but they come in saying that like, oh, I'm here right now. So they like, it's just really interesting to kind of see how their lives are different and like the reasons why they're doing what they're doing. I feel like everybody's in it for different reasons. Even in Canada, I know some people that are in the military because they want to like make some kind of massive difference in the world, and other people literally just defaulted to it because they're like, oh, I hear that it has good health care coverage and they'll pay for my education. Like there's so many different reasons for somebody to join the military. So I think it's just interesting to see different people and like why they're doing it.
And I definitely have a lot of respect because I feel like there's something that I lack inside of me that makes me want to do that. Like I thought about it. We had like recruiters coming to my high school and stuff.
Oh yeah.
They would talk to you and they're telling you, oh, well, free college and free this and stable whatever. And I'm like, that sounds dope. But then I'm thinking it within myself, like, am I willing to sacrifice like a huge part of my life or even my life for that. And it's like I feel like I lack something that these other people, like soldiers, have, and I have massive respect. I don't want you to think I'm saying like, oh well, weirdos, why do you want to? I have so much respect for people that have served, and like I have tons of family that served, and
like I said, I wish I was like that. I wish I could be like that.
Well, you need different types of people for, you know, some people could never be doctors because they can't handle the sight of blood, or they can't stand the thought of cutting someone's head open. Some people can't be police officers because they're scared of guns and dealing with people on the street. Some people can't be firefighters because they're afraid of fire.
Yeah, like, you know, everyone has their own thing that they can help society with. There's not one like even answer if it's basic, to helping society. You know?
Not everybody can deal with, you know, this is gonna sound terrible, but not everybody is good with people. And some people are great with people. So even if your job is literally just, you know, like customer service, but you're just super polite and super kind, like you don't know how like little things like that actually affect people's lives. So like everybody has a purpose. So don't think that just because you don't think you have it in you to be in the military or like a doctor that you aren't significant in some way. Like it takes all different types of people to do everything that the world needs.
Yeah, so. I agree with you.
Look at it.
Co-sign. I have nothing to add. That was the best way you could have put that, because there is definitely like a plethora of different people that can help society, and because of soldiers like that, we have the ability to live stream or make websites or create, you know, art. Like it's all a part of the ecosystem, I guess. Is a good way to say it. So but specifically, I want to go all the way back to the topic. Are you guys for or against female characters in CoD World War II? Do you think it's just another added part of customization? Or do you think it's a bunch of bullshit and all these, you know, I kind of agree in one sense that all these social justice warrior and all this stuff is kind of reshaping movies and TV and whatever to include all these other different types of folks, right? So it's kind of like changing it in a way that some people are uncomfortable with. But what do you guys think about it?
It's just customization. I think people should
if
just let it go.
If it was something like in like when they're storming the beach in Normandy and there's randomly all these women around,
like Agatha,
now you're rewriting history.
If the
you can make the statement that, you know, like maybe there should have been more females present, but it's a different time. So if anything, it just shows you how the times have changed between
definitely
then and now.
And a lot of people like are only looking at it through the American scope. And America, like females even in America did have like a strong presence for the war. You had medics, or you had people, you know, like men had to leave their factory jobs to go fight. And so who stepped up? These women who finally got, that's where like Rosie the Riveter comes from, where you have these women who were able and finally allowed and able to step up into those positions and help like keep the planes in the air. It's like these ads they used to put up, like buy war bonds, keep them flying, and these girls are marketing that and building that in the factories. So
are people really playing Call of Duty to like get an accurate, like, do people do that?
I don't think, especially multiplayer, I don't think so. But the thing people are caught, that's what I mean. The people are caught right now is in this live stream of the new Call of Duty like trailer reveal. So like, we wanted to keep things as historically accurate as possible, and then they show this like World War II historian being interviewed. And but it's like that's for the campaign and the little scope of the person you're gonna be in that campaign.
I always see the multiplayer is completely separate.
I mean, you're playing on like the same maps, like little sections of the campaign will be made into multiplayer maps. But to be angry about it, I just find really odd. I guess if you have a different opinion than me or any of us up here, I'm totally cool with it as long as you're civil. But I don't personally understand it.
I just don't care. You know?
A ton of people just don't care.
If they didn't put them in, I wouldn't care either. I wouldn't be like, what the fuck?
If they didn't put, let's put it this way: if they didn't put females in the multiplayer, I would not be upset, because I would in some way be able to be like, well, there weren't that many girls back then.
I just don't care about like my character that much. Like I'm not about to just
literally do
if I can't play as a girl, I'm not gonna like not buy it. Like it's they didn't have girls in Call of Duty till I want to say Ghost was the first girl you could be.
Because BO2 didn't, then Ghost did. So
Ghost was the first one. So, whatever. I don't care.
I don't know. I feel like most people don't care, but the people that do care are very outspoken and very angry at me on Twitter. So, I'm sorry about
being at the social
two sides. it's two sides, you know. You've got the people over here that are completely freaking out because there's probably not enough female representation, and then there's going to be the people all the way over here that are freaking out because there's any female representation. Like,
and then there's us that just don't really care.
It's like just chill in the middle.
Yeah. So one thing I have on here to talk about actually just happened today. The Twitch streamer Ice Poseidon banned after being swatted. He's an IRL streamer, which means he streams him going places or doing things in real life. And he got banned off Twitch because he got swatted while on an airplane. Like, somebody called in a bomb threat on the airplane saying, "Oh, I'm this person. I have a bomb. I'm going to blow them up." And they said, like, their flight number. It's a really interesting case because Ice Poseidon is somebody, as far as I know, I might be a little sketch on the details, but he has been suspended multiple times by Twitch for his different antics. I remember there was even a IRL stream. He was in Hollywood and somebody committed suicide.
Oh yeah.
Like, do you guys remember that happening?
Yeah, I remember that.
He repeatedly puts himself in risque situations.
Do you think that was his fault though with the suicide thing?
No, no, it's not his fault. He's just there. And he's just documenting it.
His fan base is just very
toxic.
Toxic. Yeah, they're just toxic. They think it's all funny. Like, it's just a
and an example of why she's saying that is an example of why she's saying that is because he'll go to places, like he'll go to a restaurant, for instance. This is just what I gathered based on like a ton of comments and articles that I read about it. Did you guys see
the Denny's thing?
What particularly?
When the kids just walk in and start putting out the fire extinguishers.
What?
See that?
No.
He was sitting there eating like dinner in Denny's, and these kids walk in and they just take the fire extinguishers off the freaking wall and just like let them go. And like there's other people in the restaurant, and literally you can't see anything. It just becomes like clouds because of like
that's scary because that's like Twitch trolls or internet trolls like actually in real life. Do you guys know like when you're playing H1, the same guy keeps joining your game trying to kill you?
Yeah,
like a stream sniper.
Imagine that.
He has an IRL stream sniper. Like, this guy just shows up in places where he's at.
And that's scary. Like, that kid didn't care at all. He just, like, I would never take a fire extinguisher off the wall and start putting that in a restaurant. Like, this is a restaurant. All the food got ruined because, like, it's all over. It's like, what the hell?
Kids have no frame of reference for anything.
He wasn't a kid though. He was like 18. Like,
that's a kid
though. It's like the parents that'll drive their kids to these gaming houses and just let them like not just pound on the door. We'll just stand there waiting with them and be like, okay, go jump the fence and look in the windows.
Right? What is wrong with people, man?
Like, it's the whole world is messed up in that case, you know? And it's like. Yeah,
it seems like his fan base is super upset over this, and like on one hand I get it, like it's not his fault, he didn't call it in, it's not his fault, but it kind of is because I guess I didn't see it happen live. I'm just going off of like what has been posted about what happened. The people that did see it or like videos of it that got uploaded was that he was at the gate. And he like showed or told them the gate number that he was at and the airport, and was like, "Oh, maybe I should show you guys that. I don't want you guys to do anything crazy." Like, he's basically giving them a hint to like egg them on, like see how far they can go with it, because they keep doing stuff like this. Like, whenever he goes to restaurants, they'll call over and over and over again, "Give the phone to this person." Or, you know, and harass these people that work in these places. They're just like,
maybe he's inviting other people not just to harass him, but to harass everybody who's in the same surrounding as him.
And the problem with that is he's probably like, oh, well, this gives me hype, and I'm not going to get banned off Twitch, so I'm just going to get my hype.
Because he just keeps getting suspended.
Yeah, because obviously, like, I don't watch him, but whenever something happens, I'm like, oh, wow.
What do you do now?
This is actually the first I've heard of him.
This guy's like literally a magnet
for this stuff. I ignore a lot of things if I can.
He's from the RuneScape community.
On one hand, I kind of understand, because apparently what they caught him with the ban for was a terms of service of disclosing your location, I guess. Which I guess is against the terms of service, but people are saying, well, did they just add this now? Is this a rule that they made because of ICE, and now he's banned and made an example of when he didn't even know that was in the terms of service?
I feel like it was probably something added when all the swatting stuff started happening, so that it was like, so you're not unintentionally encouraging people to swat you, so like, they probably don't want you giving out your address so people can like send stuff to you and stuff. Like, they're just...
Yeah.
It covers their end. I think it covers them more than it covers. So you can like, so it's like, say something happened to a streamer, like somebody was streaming and somebody broke into their house and like messed with them or something. Twitch would be like, well, we do not condone. We specifically say it's against the terms of service for somebody to give out their address. And if
that makes a lot of sense.
You know, so I can't like fall back on them at all. You know?
Yeah. And Twitch is really good for doing things like that and like covering their end, because they have to. Otherwise, you, like you said, if Twitch is saying, oh well, it's okay for everyone in the chat to be doing this type of stuff, then they could get sued. You know, they have to have it.
So do you think he expected something to happen? Then you think like
apparently people were tweeting me that I was wrong because I responded to my friend, because my friend Prestigious Key, I gotta have him on the podcast, by the way. He's a fantastic guy. He tweeted out, wow, they banned this guy after he got swatted. Like, kind of like, that doesn't make sense. But, like, they don't know the whole history that this guy's, like, basically a magnet for shit, right? Yeah. And then he's been getting suspended repeatedly for, like, kind of pushing the envelope.
Yeah, so my first thing was like, oh, they swatted him on a plane. That's super messed up. Like, I don't know why he would have been
poor guy.
Streaming on a plane, but I felt bad at first. But then it's almost like how the media was all on Adam Sala's side. I don't know if you guys remember that situation where he got kicked off the plane and he was all like, we got kicked off the plane for speaking Arabic. And then it turned out he was actually just yelling a bunch. And they were like specifically trying to go to people. And he's a YouTube prankster, but the average person doesn't know that. Yeah. So they were all on his side. But then YouTube was like,
really?
Yeah.
Adam, like, so I feel like it was that kind of situation. People who aren't familiar with what he does on Twitch might just see it as like, well, that's really screwed up.
The people that are familiar, his hardcore fans are really upset because they can't. I don't know why though, because he's repeatedly pushing the envelope. If you keep playing with fire, like you're gonna get burned, right? Like you can't keep also to blame, pushing the envelope. Oh, yeah. I mean, it only takes one person, which sucks. Because maybe he does. Maybe, I don't know. I guess I've never watched his stream, so I can't say yes or no. This guy's a great streamer and a good person we should have on there. Yeah, he's clearly entertained if he has this big fan base.
This stuff every single night. Like, he's not doing stuff that gets people, like, coming at him every single night to be entertaining. He's got to be good on his own.
It's cool because like I've watched like recently he was in New Orleans and like he's just walking around and people walk up to him like, hey man, like I drove 40 minutes to get here, literal stream snipers.
See, that's cool. But it's like interesting. The bad eggs. The bad eggs have to ruin it, and
there's always going to be those people that like. There's always going to be those hacker kids that want to go in your chat, and there's always going to be the kids that want to ruin it for everybody else. Yeah. So I don't necessarily think he deserved to get banned, but I see what you mean. Maybe they do need to make an example out of it. I mean, they made an example out of Gross Score. I don't know if you remember that last year.
No, what happened?
He was a Twitch streamer who decided to call someone from the League of Legends. He was a caster for League of Legends. He called him a rapist.
Yeah, he did, and then he got
and he got banned.
You can't do that though.
Yeah, it was just like.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's something in Twitch like you can't like if Jewel's a partner and I'm a partner, so I can't say, hey Jewel, I can't like flame her basically or like try to
rapist.
Yeah, like if I were to say like, oh, Jewel's I don't even know what I don't want to say anything bad to Jewel. So I can't even do it like to be funny. But I basically can't shit on Jewel and publicly bash her because we're both we're seen as like co-workers
working for the same company.
Yeah, you're not technically allowed to do that. You get suspended for doing that. So
but it was just something stupid that he did and they made an example out of him, and it's like the same thing I guess with Ice. Like you can't keep like letting out where you are. Like you literally were on national television. Like this was a big thing. And let me cover that too. Did you guys watch like the footage from like the news? It's
so cringe because they are so like don't get it.
They're so serious. Like they're like there was a bomb threat.
Yes.
Like
man.
And all the oh my gosh.
Because technically that was like low scale on some other than the fact that they said it was on a plane. It was low scale compared to a lot of the stuff that happens in swatting. Like that last kid who got like shot 3 times with rubber bullets and like fractured his sternum and like
oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, and like I think they caught the person who did that. I don't know. Something recently happened where they actually caught somebody who was swatting.
They're catching these swatters now. They really are.
Which is good because
it's a felony.
Are the ones that need to be punished the most because it is a felony. And they caught one of the ones that was a repeat offender, and they're making a huge example out of him, like a massive example out of him.
You're putting people in danger.
Like, Twitter or Facebook videos where it's like this dramatic like music, and it's like recently gamers have been being swatted. Like, and I'm like, this has been going on for like 8 years now.
What do you mean?
Like, where have you been? Like,
Facebook
recently.
is like, my Facebook is just getting like the Joey Salad social experiments, and I have to go on every video being like, everything this dude does is fake, except that time he pissed in his own mouth. Like, literally, like, you know?
Dude, Facebook's hilarious. Do you guys understand the big pictures with the words over them that are basically like status updates? Why
do people do that?
I don't know. I don't
literally
know.
I think it's Facebook. Like, man, people really like Tumblr. And Tumblr's all about putting deep, meaningful messages over colored backdrops.
I don't understand it. It looks so stupid. Like, it's dumb. Like, I don't understand.
Bad.
I read it, and like at first I thought they were like reblogging them, and then I read it, and they're like not good English, like just messed up grammar, and I'm like,
doctor's appointment at 10 a.m.
Had an apple fritter.
What is this? Oh my gosh, kills me. What's the point? Just write your status, dude. Like, why do you have this big ass box?
So it's got to be an intention thing to draw more. It's got to be to draw more interaction with your post, I guess.
It makes me wonder, like, if I'd be like that, because Twitter is obviously where I get like interaction. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Like, would I be that person on Facebook, like going to the store, like in this big ass box, so I can get
rainbow
likes?
background?
I don't understand.
I don't know.
My status update would be, can you believe they're putting women in World War II Call of Duty? question mark, rainbow background.
Oh, God.
I don't really get Facebook, but I am starting to feel old. There's certain aspects of social media now where I'm like, I don't get it. Like, what are these avatars that they have on Snapchat? I don't understand how to make it. I don't know why they have it.
The Bitmojis?
Yeah, what's that?
That was popular like 2 years ago. That was so
popular. I'm late. If I were to
Facebook,
make one now,
like 2 years ago, and then Snapchat brought it in for some reason, and now it's a big thing again. Because like before, they used to make Bitmoji stories. You would just put all your characters together with other things, and you could like add. It's all like Bitmoji out drinking. It's all like Jimmy got drunk again, and it's just like all these different things.
Yeah, I was really confused when I saw them. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, so they were really popular.
What's the point?
Like, a couple of years ago, and then they like died off, and Snapchat brought it back for some reason.
So like, I wouldn't be cool though if I made one. Or how do I make one?
Have not made
I
one.
was trying to make one, but I couldn't figure it out, and I feel old now because I can't do it.
No, if anything, people doing it now are like they're second waivers. It's over.
So you should have already had your Bitmoji.
You should have already gone through your Bitmoji phase at least 2 years ago.
Shit.
God, mom.
God, mom. I want to talk about that. Do people call you guys mom in your stream?
They used to, but not anymore.
A couple people call me mom, but like the kid who calls me mom is like 13 years old. So
is it Matt?
No, actually, it's not.
Yeah.
Matt,
Yo, Matt's the homie.
Matt was. I thought Matt was like this 20-year-old because he's always so well behaved, respectable.
No.
And then I got this other kid who's the same age who's all like, I farted.
Dude, I love Matt.
And then finally someone was like, no, Matt's the one who that happened to. And I was like, oh man, I feel so bad because I actually hadn't heard that story.
If you guys don't know, everyone asked me this. He's the kid that accidentally donated $200 instead of $2. I don't want him to always be that kid.
Little kid.
He is like people. It pisses me off because people are always like, "Oh, who's that kid?" Blah blah. That was so funny, and they're kind of like laughing at his expense. So I feel a little bad about it, but at the same time, like he's the coolest kid.
Talk to that kid?
Yeah, I have. Okay,
savage.
this is gonna be really creepy. I have a public Snapchat. He added me on Snapchat. I added him back. So I have this little 13-year-old on Snapchat.
Okay,
I feel hella creepy because all of his snaps are of him in like middle school.
Weird? Is it weird?
I had to unfollow. Like when I first got Snapchat and started using it more publicly, I added everybody that added me, and then suddenly I was seeing these like stories from all these like kids and stuff, and I was like, this is weird. So I had to like remove a bunch of them, but I kept the 13-year-old that I mentioned just because he's been in my stream like really consistently, and he doesn't do anything weird.
Yeah.
So I'm like safe here, but like I don't need to see what the average like 13 to 14-year-olds doing with their day because I'm like I feel weird.
Yeah,
but I
feel
creepy. Why you'd add Matt? I understand.
Well, he's a chill little kid. It's like you're saying, he's pretty
a savage. He's not 13.
Funny.
Like,
no,
I wouldn't have
like,
known
hilarious.
it was him until somebody pointed it out because I was like, I have this thing where I like to mimic things. So like I had just seen the video, like I'd say a month ago was the first time I saw it. So I was kind of like being like, oh, you know, like the kid was like midnight. So I was like, everyone was like, oh no, Matt's super chill, don't be mean. And I was like, oh, I'm not even trying to be mean. I thought it was like super adorable and it was cool.
He's a cool kid.
He was still around. And then Matt was like, hi. And I was like, oh no.
That's so funny.
It's you.
Yeah, he's like the chillest kid. And he's like, what's the word that I'm looking for? He's
mature.
not mature. He's a vibrant personality. He's not
so
afraid
funny.
to be funny or be himself, and I just think that's really cool when little kid. I shouldn't call him a little kid. Young people of America.
I don't even think he'd care if we call him a little kid.
Youngins. Well, I'm old, so I can call him young. Youngins are just like vibrant, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of.
How old are you now?
Good person. I have a couple. You can't ask that on stream. Ashley's 23. Ashley's 23.
I met her when I was 14.
Yeah, literally, I've known Jules. So if I was 20 when I met you, little Jules, and you're 21 now.
Are you 27? I think you're 7 years.
How old am I?
I've known you for 7 years.
Yeah, dude. Literally, like, I'm old, and you're older
that's
now.
Crazy. I know, I'm an old person now. I remember when you were 21, I was like scared to like talk to you. I was like, oh my god, she's gonna think I'm a weirdo. I'm a 14-year-old.
I thought you were gonna think I was a weirdo because I'm old talking to a little kid.
Yup.
I thought you were gonna think I was the weirdo. That's so funny.
People thought I was the weirdo because I'm so old, being friends with like a 14-year-old. So
that's so funny.
It was really funny, but I love our history, Jules. We'll have to have you on again. We usually run about an hour. We're hitting about an hour now.
We're there. We are there.
Unless, is there anything else you want to enlighten us on?
Nope, nothing.
You're still streaming all the time, right?
Yep. Twitch.tv/JulesXO. Hey.
Go follow Jules' stream. Follow Amanda's stream. Follow my stream. I've mostly been streaming lately. We didn't really get to talk about that too much, Jules. How we're both kind of not really
on the YouTube.
Uploading. Well, and also YouTube. There was so many like factors that led into why I'm not uploading very much lately. And I think it's maybe just like how long I've been doing it, what happened with Call of Duty this year, and on top of it, coming back to Twitch and wanting to grow that. There's just so many factors that led to where I'm at now. But the podcast is by far my favorite thing to do on YouTube.
At least you're doing that.
I, on the other hand, have never been YouTube successful, so I still upload every other day on YouTube.
Check
so
her YouTube follow out.
Me, yeah, I'm trying to hit 3K before Anaheim, so like...
Go sub to Amanda. Help her hit 3K. YouTube.com/AmandatheJedi. The link will be in the description. All our links will be in the description, so hit us up.
It's right under my head right now.
And we'll definitely have you on again, Jewel, if you want to come back.
Sure,
hopefully we didn't scare you away with our
fun.
Wildness.
Well, you did, but
I know Ashley really likes cats. We'll try to like rein her in next
We're
time.
not gonna talk about cats again because you got a little too excited.
Dude, how though? Who doesn't like cats?
I love cats.
People that don't like cats are the type of people that's like, I've never met a cat that's chill. Like, you just don't know how to talk to them with your eyes.
You don't know how to love them. I swear, it's nurturing. Like it's. Yeah,
the reason that cat, I mean, this is not a cats versus dogs thing, because I love both. I love animals. I love dogs too. Yeah. But they're different. Dogs crave your attention. Cats don't. So when they give you attention, it's genuine.
It's the best feeling.
It's awesome. Yeah. So if you've never gotten, cuddles from a cat, then maybe you should stop sucking at life.
It's true.
Oh, God.
But anyway, GG's, guys. Thank you, Megan, for coming on. Thanks Amanda, for always
loved it.
Being here and chilling. And thank you, most importantly, for watching the entire... If you made it to the end, comment cats rule in the comments. I appreciate that, even if you don't agree with it. Leave your comments about anything we talked about. Follow all of our social media. Buy Midnight merch because it just came back. Put that in the description. Buy it up.
I'm waiting for the hoodie.
Soon. Anyway, dude, we've been like arguing about finding an outro, or I have internally. I still don't have an outro. Maybe I should make one, or one of you guys could make an outro, because I have no way of ending it. It's just like, okay, bye. Stop recording.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Outro, please.
See you later.